Hey guys, we're back at my studio. For those of you who have never heard of Steve Rude the Dude, um, just consult this worthless animal over here who keeps climbing up on people's legs. She's only, 6 months old? No, she's more like 3 months. She's driving us crazy. But there's an antidote for that. We call it the spray bottle. Take a hike, Dick. Anyway, we're in my studio right now. Go on, Dick, take a hike. And I think last couple days we've been monitoring my progress on a couple pieces. I had mentioned that in this particular case, I've got several pieces going on at once. Now, this is not an uncommon practice among artists. Sometimes we just do it to break things up a little bit. And sometimes when you're working on one thing every day and every day and every day, over and over, it gets you kind of get a little bit of a numbness to the requirements needed to finish the thing up, and that can happen to anybody. So I thought I'd just try working on several pieces at once. One is because I have a deadline for several pieces at once, namely Christmas coming up here, as we're currently filming this in November 2022. Couple things I wanted to mention. Do you want to be artists out there, or just you general interest folks? How people go about doing pictures. The first thing I do before I do a picture is always the thumbnail kind of sketch. I think I showed you this last time. That was one of my ideas right there. I think I have my Superman thing here somewhere. There it is right there. That was my initial sketch that told me I can go ahead. Now it's really loose, but it actually tells me everything I need to know about what this piece is going to look like when it becomes from a couple inches high to a 30 by 40 inch painting, which I have over there on the easel. A lot of work in my sketchbook going on here. Some of these are copies from other artists that I really liked. Stuff from my favorite cartoon show. I record a lot of things that come my way from people that are significant in my life. This case actually came from one of the vintage Hanna-Barbera animators from way back in the 50s, and he said the most kindest thing to me. I don't know if you can read it there, but it says, "Since we don't have Tony, Mo, and Alex anymore, you have now assumed the mantle of being the authority on Space Ghost and other characters of Hanna-Barbera. Your drawings are beautifully done. They're right on model, which seems to be a rarity these days." So I was very, very proud to have that. So I pasted it in my sketchbook, which is what any sane individual might do. These are other studies here. A Civic Dick. Some more things back here. And even some Kirby studies here. There's nothing that's out of bounds for me right here. This says Cornwell right here. Anyone who doesn't know the name Dean Cornwell, I guess knows nothing about the Dean of Illustrators. This is thankfully I have a Xerox machine so I can show you the first step, the outlining step, and then the tonal in-betweens that go to a finished drawing. Even though I copied it, it's still nowhere near as good as the master himself, but I did try. More varied influences going on here. Stuff to be pasted in, along with my various things that I type up and record and paste in here. Can you ever get too good at legs? Okay, here comes the flow hard. Now, I don't know why, but every time the camera's rolling, flow hard seems to sense it, and here she is. Flowy. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Dick and flow hard are gonna have some fun here like last time. So we got back to some more stuff right here that I just finished. This is the last page I've finished so far. I have no idea how many pages are in here. This is a Sunbloom study. Haddon Sunbloom, the great Santa Claus artist from the Coke days, 1930s, 40s, and 50s, and some more leg studies. Because, like I mentioned, who can ever get too good at drawing legs? Plus, I forget a lot of stuff, so I have to revisit things to get smart. Studies. You saw me do the little thumbnail sketch in color. These are black and white studies that go before the painting right here. These are actually based on photographs of myself here. lucky me, I'm still in pretty good shape at 65 years old. Dick, take a hike. You can see the whole figure is tonally rendered, and then there's a close-up of the face to work from. This is done in very thin paper right here, but it's great for pencil, for charcoal, or the various other dark pencils that I use. Let's see if I can find a reference here of myself. Black and white study, another color study. Here you go. There's the dude here at current 65 years old, posing for Superman. Now, the reason you have to do these things right here is because you need to get the lighting right. The lighting is very important. You don't want to fake that kind of stuff unless you have a photographic memory, which none of us do. So these things are very important right there. So those are the steps that I'm trying to show you that go through the process, the very necessary process of getting organized for a painting. Dick, you're driving me nuts. She'll be back in 5 seconds, don't worry. In the meantime, we've got more progress on this X-Men painting right here. There are so many stages, mental stages as well as physical ones that go on here. This is painted in gouache, which is opaque watercolor. And I have noticed that no matter how often I have painted these pictures, which is, you know, going on decades now, there always seems to have this period where you have to, I don't know what you call it, you have to go through barriers to get to the point where suddenly you break through to a very stubborn medium, and suddenly you find yourself not fighting the medium as much, but actually working with it. And I'm finally getting to that stage, so I don't think it'll be driving me as crazy as it has been. Another thing about gouache is you can reactivate it with water, as you see me doing here. And that's mostly to smooth out tones. I see another one that I can do. I recommend saving this stuff for last. You don't get caught up in trying to make these things perfect in the beginning. It's just too much of a hassle. But eventually, you know, these things all come together, and you're looking at a finished painting. I had a very interesting moment here with Cyclops firing his beams. I wasn't sure how to treat the phenomenon of a ray blast within a shadow that he's casting here. So I just kind of made something up that kind of looked right to me. Whether it's real or not is secondary to how I perceive it in my head. So that's what I ended up doing right there. There will be many more refinements going on from here until the thing is finally done and signed. So, but let's get together in the future and I'll show you more progress on these things. If you guys have any questions about the process that goes on here, I want to tell you that the actual process of painting these pictures has the things you go through and the things you do to get ready for something, and the actual process has not changed since I was a kid. And I know that because I took stock one day and I said, what are my problem areas? And the problem areas that I wrote down are the same things that I had when I was like 18, 19 years old and just getting out of art school for the first time. So I think at this age, it's a good thing to, what I call, take stock of your progress. I have to write it down, because once I write it down, I'm forced to confront the things that I have to look square in the face, either as far as things that are tough, things that are easy, and things that I've never been able to really surmount. So it's a very funny process, which is something I wanted to share with you guys today. So let's get together again soon. I hope you liked these progress shots of this painting here. It's big, it's 20 by 30, I think. Maybe it's even bigger than that. You can see it's taken up most of the drawing board. But eventually, in spite of all the trials and nonsense you go through to get these things done, Look, guys, I have a 3-day attention span, and this is going on for more than a week here at least. But you gotta finish it. That's what guys that are very stubborn do. So until next time, we'll see you for more updates in how I'm doing. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll look forward to some questions on this, because that's half the reason I do this, okay? You guys take care. I'll see you next time. Dick, take a hike.